Welcome back to Beyond Bourbon. Today we have another amazing review, thanks to Mallik this time. And this is Brook Rye. This is an 11-year-old rye that is 125.13 proof. This is the Bedlam, so this is the Kentucky release. If you didn't watch it already, go back and watch the Blasé Brook Bourbon review. An absolutely amazing bottle.
So freaking good.
I think we have just as high, if not higher, expectations for this. This is an extremely short barrel at 66 bottles. Absolutely crazy to see that.
Very limited product. We're trying right now.
Yeah.
Very limited product.
54th bottle
of 66.
of 66. So
yeah.
it should have all the good ingredients, not the first word.
That is rare
character.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's alright.
It's alright.
The bourbon was better.
I've been loving the rye lately of just any release, not just Brook character.
I have too. I recently am getting into rye.
That's exactly. We've been talking about this as beginners. I wish we would have bought more ryes, more cheap ryes, whatever, because it's so tough that everything you see on YouTube or any suggestions or anything like that, it's bourbon, and so it's tough to know what to buy. And now that I've gotten into ryes, I'm like, it's a whole new world. Like it's so much out there that you don't even know about, and I think this is probably gonna be the case here. I don't know.
Almost every rye I've ever had is like an amplified amount of flavor.
Yeah.
Maybe not the flavor that you like or not, but the flavor is always brought.
Turned up a little notch.
Yeah, turned the notch. So we'll see what happens here.
Hopefully that's behind the barrel.
You got too excited.
Yep.
Okay. This is really good.
So color-wise, it's lighter.
But crazy that it's lighter. It's an old, 1 year older. It's still a good color.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's gold. This is.
Here's.
This is a year older. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the same color as Handy.
You think so?
You think?
If you pour that out, Handy. Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah. That's fair.
Handy is a pretty good comparison for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same proof almost.
Almost the same proof.
But that's like twice as old. This is only like 5-year-old stuff.
And I really like Handy. That was one of my biggest surprises. Handy is very good.
But the thing is, we're already comparing it to one of the most
sought after bottles of
all time. So.
And it already smells better. If you like bourbon or rye, you're gonna like this nose.
This smells higher proof than the bourbon does.
It does. Yeah.
You said ethanol, but I didn't get it the first time, but
I'm still getting a sting.
Yeah, it burns the nostrils.
It does.
Yeah.
So I'm getting some like candy,
like a
candied fruit maybe.
Cheers.
Let's give it a try.
I think the pal's gonna destroy.
Thank you so much, Mallik.
No.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
That is crazy.
Money.
Bro.
There's no burn. I thought the burn would carry on from the nose.
A little burn, but it's good. It's like the perfect amount of burn. I love it.
The finish is like delayed, but it's good. The rye to be this.
It's like an Oreo topping, caramel. It's just everything you love in like a dessert. Right here.
Strawberry cheesecake. Now, I'm getting strawberry cheesecake.
You know what's crazy though? It doesn't have.
Yes!
Isn't it strawberry cheesecake?
Yes, strawberry cheesecake.
It doesn't have your typical rye notes though.
This is so bourbon.
I'm missing that. I mean, which is okay. I don't have that like super peppery spiciness to it. That like minty note. I'm not getting any of that, which is okay for me because I prefer that more bourbon palate that it has.
I'm not ashamed to say, like, if this wasn't a blind, I would not consider this a rye.
No, I think I could agree.
Yeah, I would say higher rye, but not.
But not in a bad way. Not where it's like.
It has a little spice initially, but it fades. It's the sweetest, smoothest, carameliest, like, just delicious.
It also drinks lower than 125 proof in alcohol-wise, but higher than like flavor-wise.
My new favorite.
There's so much going on.
Dessert bourbon.
Dessert bourbon.
It just killed the Woodford line for me. This is.
I'm telling you,
bourbon.
if you're a bourbon fan, this is your like entry level like barrel-proof rye. This is
entry level. 66 bottles is in history. This is what you need to go out and buy at your Total Wine.
Not Total Wine, but I think this beats Handy by a mile.
We'll pull out here a second. Let's talk more about this. We asked last question when we did the rare character Brook Bourbon. What would you pay for this one? Is it the same price retail?
No.
More?
Yes.
More.
Yeah. For me, at least 4 to 5. I'm already in the 4 to 5 range right now. Okay. This is way too good.
Yeah.
For me, it's about the same, only because the nose isn't quite as good as I wish it was because the palate is that good.
No, but the palate kicks.
The palate kicks.
Yeah.
100%. But there's a little disconnect. The nose isn't quite. It's not quite as strong as the palate for me. But the palate is worth $300, $400 easy.
He's lost for words. Like that is
Yeah,
too
so
good.
I'm honestly just caught up trying to compare the Bedlam to the Blase.
It's so hard.
We
That's
might
why-
need to pull it out.
If, I don't know, when I'm looking at like secondary pricing, right? Not to, to compare it to,
No, I know.
Thomas Handy.
Everyone saved a little bit.
I know, not to compare it to Thomas Handy without, having them together side by side. I think secondary, this is probably $300 or $400 more,
That's what I was thinking
right?
already, yeah.
Well, I mean, even on retail, this is more.
Yeah.
And I think I'd pay it.
You know
It's
why?
tough.
I think I would pay
I'm gonna
it.
pull it off flat.
You know why? 11 years on the bottle. That's maybe 5 to 6 years. And it tastes like it.
Yeah.
It's super sweet, but it's missing the depth of flavor. This has some oak.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
has some tannins, some just
Yeah.
rich flavor.
So right now we're gonna go around and compare these two. I think this is probably the closest comparison I can think of this. This is still half the age.
For like price,
Proof,
and
price,
availability.
everything.
11 years versus whatever years. For me, that comes across the most. The biggest difference between the Handy and this Bedlam is the Handy's nose is pretty good. It's super sweet, but it's missing that complexity and that oak. This has like a bazillion miles of oak and just complexity and flavor. To me, my best comparison, that's like Wild Turkey 101. Amazing product. Like, no one's gonna say that's a bad product. This is Russell's 13.
So you're Brook Hill.
I think Brook Hill beats it just because of them. Extra oak.
At $300.
The nose on that is comparable.
At $300 more.
Yes.
Okay.
Love both the products, but because we just looking at, I'm forgetting about the price range going to the proof.
Sure.
This packs so much more punch. Like it's anybody
Handy?
can tell the difference in these. It's mellow, it's really good, but no, for the proof, for all the flavor that it has.
I'm thinking it's that oak, man, because the proof is the same.
Responding to you, I think I would pay the difference. This has the complexity that I think you get more like from a bourbon than you do, at least in my opinion, from the ryes that I've experienced. So in comparison of these two, like kind of what Mallik said, this is like a bourbon drinker's rye.
Yes,
Right.
100%.
So you get the level of complexity from this 11 year. I think agreeing with Jared with it being the extra oak. So you're able to get just more of a complex flavor profile at the end, right? On the finish, it lasts longer, it's more diverse, and that's it for me.
I love it. And to me, if you don't like ryes or there's something about our typical rye that you stray away from for whatever reason, I've always recommended this. This is a very bourbon heavy rye. This is even more bourbon heavy. I'm shocked that this is a rye.
I think it comes
might
down
be
to
51% rye because it is so bourbon-like, and I love
yes. As we're all for bourbon drinkers first, not
Sure.
rye drinkers, I think I'm with you guys that I'm going to lean towards this. If you are a rye drinker, though, I don't know if I would pay the $300 difference for this. If you are a rye drinker,
Yeah,
it's like if you only like ryes, if you not really that bourbon, like this is by far better. Like let me just reiterate.
Just as a product in general,
if side by
bourbon,
side,
rye,
no price, whatever.
because of the complexity.
If this has a more rye
And,
spice to it, though, I think because it is younger.
It has a little minty.
And,
Mitch on
yes,
the
exactly.
notes.
It's a little minty. It's a little more peppery. It's all the rye stuff that you get with bourbon, but that's just a better product. And I personally, along with these three, would pay up for that. I mean, secondary price. It's tough to decide what between the bourbon and rye there, but
I was gonna
both
say,
of those are in.
Next question would be, would you choose the rye or the bourbon?
I'll go first there. I'm gonna go bourbon. That blew me away, and we tried it first, so it has an advantage because my expectations were high, but not that high. The amount of flavor that came from that drink at like 100 proofer. This drink's like a high proofer, but not at that high proof. And like I've never had anything like the bourbon.
Yeah.
Like I cannot think of a single comparison. We brought out Handy to compare to.
We were just like reviewing it and giving our opinions, and like 2 minutes later, we're like,
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
let's compare it to the best bottle, one of the best bottles ever.
Yeah, and that one we were like, I cannot think of a bottle to compare it to.
No.
Like that's where I'm at for that.
And for me, I think the palate of this is phenomenal. Like, it is one of the best palates I've ever had. The nose has a little disconnect, and this one just is so unique again. It has a well-rounded from nose to finish to palate. Everything about it is so unique and different and incomparable to anything I've ever had. And it's amazing. But this one's palate is so good. I don't know how you can beat that palate.
No, I think I completely agree with them. Really, really good stuff. But the palate on this is unmatched.
It's crazy. You have to try
It's
this.
unmatched. I've never had anything like it.
If I was in a store and I only saw one or the other, obviously I'd take either one. But I'm going to be honest. I think if I only saw the rye, I would buy it and hope I could trade it for a bourbon.
That's like the perfect description of where I'm at, I think. It's amazing, but like I'm with you that I think
these products have blown my expectations.
It's crazy.
Yeah. They're sometimes, you know, stuff has an expensive price tag or it's rare but it's not good. This is the one case where I've seen it's rare, it's expensive, but it's good and it's better than some of the literally the most coveted bottles of all time.
Yeah.
I think this would be WLW for me in a blind. I don't know, I haven't blinded
the bourbon one. I don't know about the rye. The bourbon would easily beat it.
And to me, that speaks volumes for how crazy good these products are.
For something to just come out of the woods, because rare characters it's kind of limited. You're not gonna go to your local liquor stores and find a bunch of rare characters. But the thing is, popped out of nowhere, and we're like 10 minutes in of trying this, and we're comparing it to the best bourbons with such a long history in the making.
Exactly.
It speaks for itself.
That's a great point. I can't imagine. We said this at the end of the bourbon video. I can't imagine where they go from here.
Right.
That we said they're comparable to Willow Purple Tops. Willow Purple Tops, you got 17 years, 21 years, 27 years. Can you imagine those at a ultra age statement of rye or bourbon? Like my mind will explode trying those. Like that's gonna be insane.
If I'm, Fred Minnick or anybody out there making a bourbon of the year list, it's really hard for me to keep these out of my top 5.
But then you gotta think though. There's 66 bottles of this one right here. There's now 65 bottles out there.
That might be one of the best things I've put. Like, well, that's
go ahead.
Say it. One of the best things I've ever put in Glen, and then.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and give some.
Thank you, Mallik, for the bottle.
Yes.
Thank you, Zane, for this bottle.
Yeah.
Sure. Some of the best stuff I've had all year. So my 2024 list, I'm including these in bourbons of the year or rye of the year, whiskeys of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
So good. Thank you guys for letting us try.
Yeah, no, it was really fun.
How much this means to us to do this on our channel. So really appreciate it.
No,
and then last video we talked about rare character exceptional series. We have some more details on that now.
Yeah, so we are doing a rare character exceptional series barrel. It's 11 and a half year. I think it's 11 years, 6 months. It's 95.3 proof, which I believe is the lowest rare character exceptional that they've ever done.
So good.
I could be wrong. It is the malted whiskey, so that's a little hush hush where it comes from, where people think it comes from, and we're excited. It's going to be a short barrel. From my understanding, there's only like 150 some bottles.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
low proof.
You probably want to check, once we do the we'll do an announcement before the pre-sale.
Yeah.
Get in touch with any of us just to get a bottle, because those will fly.
So all the information's on the screen. Also, this is going to be a split plate between these two right here. Discount Tobacco and Liquor in Lexington. We've mentioned that several times since the thing. Great store. Make sure to go check that out. Zane here from Hoosh Barrel Club, which we did the Good Times pick through. And then, of course, Average Joe's is your other club. So the information to join that group is down below. They are doing some great picks that I'm so excited for. You guys are not going to miss out on those. So also, I love what you're offering as the community. I see posts on there and people commenting and talking to each other. And that's something that's really interesting that we talk about often as well. The bourbon community is amazing.
It's a community that you all need to get involved in.
Yeah. If you're just a watcher now, that was the big thing for us is, talking to local liquor store owner, talking to barrel club owners, whatever it is, getting involved with these friends. That's how we got involved with both of these. And now these are two very good friends of ours.
We wouldn't have
through bourbon.
to be able to try these without that.
So that's
the really community is the most important.
We all love bourbon and we love to share it.
Yes, that's very true. So thank you guys for watching and cheers. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Oh, what?
There's nothing in my